Let's explore what makes a tiger a tiger. While they may share some similarities with our feline overlords, tigers are actually in the Panthera family, which includes lions, leopards, their snowy biome cousins, and jaguars. So yes, that means those guys aren't felines either. Feline, or more commonly known as felines, actually include the domestic house cat, cheetahs, cloud leopards, and mountain lions, which are often referred to as panthers, despite being, well, you get my point. So, you won't want to go treating a tiger like this gal. They may look big, soft, and cuddly, but behind those mesmerizing eyes lies the mind of a serial killer. Capable of deleting prey in a single swipe with an estimated force of 10,000 pounds. Now, if you're like me and you don't know what that means, for context, elite fighters like boxers punch with about 700 pounds of force. This in some cases is enough to straight up send somebody into a coma, or shake some melons so bad the lights just never come back on. Meaning if this big guy wants to play tag with you, it'd be like getting hit by a furry wrecking ball with oddly soft toe pads. But we'll get to that later. And those claws? Well, let's just say Freddy Krueger would be green with envy. Encountering one of these stealth kittens would make you rethink your life choices and consider what made you think petting a tiger was a good idea. Oh, and about this guy being a meat eater, on average, this ginger ninja consumes between 10 to 25 pounds of meat per day, which means you won't want to be anywhere near these guys when they're hungry. You won't be just looking like a snack, you'll be looking more like a buffet on two very slow legs. You think you're gonna get away from this cutie patootie? That ain't happening. This guy can not only climb, but it can swim. Wherever you go, it's not safe. Fun fact, the Champawat tiger was a man-eating tigress responsible for releasing 400 people's souls from their bodies back in the early 1900s. I'll cover the Champawat tiger in a future video. But tenderization isn't the only way they prepare a meal. If that wasn't enough, they come equipped with jaws powerful enough to snap bone and dagger-like canines big enough to separate the life from pretty much anything it can sink its teeth into. But despite being the biggest of big cats, this jack guy comes in at second place for bite force, losing out to its slightly smaller sibling, the jaguar. Alright, it's not all violence with these balls of fur. Okay, mostly violence, but you know how most cats turn their noses up at water? Not these guys. These striped assassins are like the Ian Thorpes of the big cat world. If you don't know who Ian Thorpe is, famous Australian swimmer. This perfect predator, you see what I did there? I apologize for that pun. Isn't just hitting the water for a leisurely swim. Like I mentioned before, they're actually using it as a sneaky hunting technique. They'll chase their prey right into the water, trapping them in an aquatic playground. It's kind of like a game of cat and mouse, except it's a tiger and whatever it's going to eat that day. Now this next fact I just straight up wanted to include because I thought it was adorable. We all know about these kind of toe beans. Tigers actually have them too. These toe pads might seem unassuming, but trust me, they're the unsung heroes of this Snuggle Muffin stealth game. They cushion each step, so these little prowlers can creep up on their prey without being detected. But, mentioned before, they can climb, and these fellas help out with that. They help to provide the tiger with killer grip. Tigers don't climb all that much, but when they do, they're able to scale trees with efficiency, sometimes even with prey in their mouth. Most of the time they spend in the trees is actually when they have cubs. Now let's get to something a little bit different. Let's talk fashion. While other big cats might rock a plain old coat, tigers are like walking works of art, with each tiger's stripes being unique to that individual. Like how a fingerprint works on a human. They don't just wear these stripes on their fur though. They're so committed to this look that it runs skin deep. So even if you shave one of these guys, I mean, it's not gonna look the same. It will be probably more terrifying, let's be honest. Oh, and if you're wondering why orange, this is what they look like to their prey. I mentioned size back at the top of this video. Tigers are the heavyweight champs of the big cat world. Tipping the scales is the largest of big cats, averaging a length of approximately 10 to 11 feet and a maximum weight of around 317 kilos, although there's some unverified instances of them being much, much heavier, making this one hefty cat. Something else that separates tigers from felines: they can't purr. They can make other noises, but in particular, tigers are known for their roar. In fact, their roar is so iconic that MGM decided to dub over the sound of the lion's roar in favor of a tiger. Listen to the difference. Unlike their big cat cousins, the lions, they don't hang out in social groups. They prefer to go solo. They stake out their own territory and will just fiercely defend it from any other tigers. This solitary lifestyle isn't just about being antisocial though. It's more of a survival strategy. These fluffy wuffies are the apex predator. These fluffy wuffies are apex predators. They're at the top of the food chain, and having their own territory more ensures that they have access to resources when they need it, and they're not in competition with other cats. It also means that when they're trying to sneak up on prey, they don't suddenly bump into each other. So while they might not be the life of the party, they're perfectly happy, again with a pun, with having their own patch of jungle. Except like when they need to make a baby, then territories change.